I wish the camera rolled during the commercial because I love the people on this show. All right, this week, TikTok filed an emergency motion to keep it from getting banned next month. It's asking an appeals court to temporarily block a law that would bar TikTok from the U.S. app stores unless its Chinese parent company, ByteDance, divests and sells the platform by January 19th. Just before Trump takes office. ByteDance hopes to give the Supreme Court and potentially Donald Trump time to weigh in on the dispute. Joining us now, former Wall Street banker turned journalist Bill Cohen. He's a founding partner of Puck News, and Roger McNamee, an early Facebook and Google investor and author of Zucked, Waking Up to the Facebook Catastrophe. All right, Bill. TikTok is not getting banned in the U.S. My colleague Kristen Welker asked Donald Trump about it in her interview on Meet the Press, and he was like, TikTok. The youth love me on TikTok. They voted me. He's not going to let TikTok leave this country. What do you think is really going to happen here?
Am I like imagining something here, Stephanie?
Usually.
Once upon a time, Donald Trump wanted to ban TikTok.
Once upon a time, he was a Democrat.
There is a law that was passed bipartisanly, if that's a word, by Congress, signed by the President of the United States, saying that ByteDance had to divest itself of TikTok. Divest itself of TikTok. Now, suddenly, laws just don't apply anymore to anybody. I don't understand. There is a law. You may not like it. You may like it. I don't know. But they should be abiding by the law. They should divest this asset. There are plenty of people, I'm sure, who want to buy it. And just like, when Anthony Scaramucci wanted to sell Skybridge Capital to HNA. It was blocked by CFIUS. He couldn't do it. ByteDance has been ordered to sell TikTok. It's a law. They should go through with it and not this 11th hour.
Who knows? Maybe Trump will use it as a bargaining tool. But Roger, there's so much focus on who owns TikTok. And yes, it was signed into law. But what about the other platforms, right? We have almost no regulations on any social media company. And this lack of regulation has led to rampant misinformation that has divided this country and severely radicalized people. So is TikTok just sort of the sideshow? And there's an enormous problem only getting worse right in front of our face, and Congress is doing nada.
Stephanie, you're absolutely correct. We have known for at least 8 years that internet platforms were vulnerable to exploitation by our adversaries around the world. It happened in the 2016 election, and it's been happening continuously since then. Now, I have no sympathy for TikTok because it is a platform which is designed to essentially addict young people to content that they basically cannot resist. And the result is that kids engage in a lot of really harmful conduct from things that they learn on TikTok. But the notion that TikTok is more harmful, even in the hands of the Chinese, than, say, Instagram or YouTube is ridiculous. Those are much, much larger platforms. And those are platforms where the business every single day is to enable people like China to target Americans with whatever they want to target them with. It could be disinformation, but it could also be things that cause kids to harm themselves. And so the fundamental issue we have is that we have allowed our Congress to do absolutely nothing except for this one law in 8 years. And now we're at this point where the thing's going to the Supreme Court. Nobody really knows how they're going to decide it. And in a sense, it doesn't matter because in this past election, China, we're ignoring the fact that China hacked into 8 different telecom companies to spy on candidates for office and to manipulate their communications. That issue is at least as big as the TikTok thing, and you don't read about it anywhere.
Okay, can we just stay on that for a moment? And I know I'm jumping the shark. That is an enormous issue that no one seems to care about, Roger. Why is that?
I wish I knew. Stephanie, you know that I've spent the last 8 years screaming about this issue. And The challenge of it all has been that in our political system, money rules. And Silicon Valley in particular has been really generous to politicians. And in addition, they basically get into universities, into the various non-governmental organizations that support Congress with good insight. And the result is they control the information environment at every possible level. And the result was the election outcome we just got. The biggest beneficiary of the TikTok law is Meta. They own Instagram, which is getting killed by TikTok. And so you saw what Meta stock did on the announcement that this law was, in fact, going to go into effect. It hit an all-time high. And, we're just not serious about this stuff. And it's incredible because all of us are being harmed by it every single day. But we're so addicted to the convenience of these platforms that we can't resist using them.
The convenience, the joy, the dopamine addiction. And remember, all that Silicon Valley money, it's paying off. This is you are seeing some of the biggest names in the Valley now deeply integrated into this incoming administration. But Frank McCourt, a major business guy, was on Face the Nation this weekend saying he's open to buying TikTok. And I want to share what he said.
The reason why we want to move people to a new stack where you can't harvest without permission. So individuals will own and control their identity and their data, permission its use, will actually have an internet that respects people as opposed to exploits them. Imagine empowering people. And to be clear, Margaret, I'm not looking to be the CEO of TikTok. We call it the people's bid because we want this to empower people and to stop this nonsense where we're exploiting people by scraping their data and taking advantage of them. And in the case of TikTok, actually creating a national security threat.
Sing it, sister. But the problem is, it's not just nonsense. This scraping of data is massive business, right? Whether you're talking TikTok, Meta, Twitter, these are enormous businesses. And do you actually think, even if Frank McCourt, in theory, is trying to do the right thing, is there even an appetite for the right thing? Because when you talk to the average user of any of these things, they're like, I don't care who owns it. I just don't want to give up my TikTok.
You're absolutely right, Stephanie. I mean, we are all, so many of us have decided we're going to give these platforms our data for free. So if you use Facebook or Meta, you've given Mark Zuckerberg your data for free, and he's a $100 billionaire now. TikTok, I don't know what it's worth, but the people who use it give them their data for free. I give to X, Elon Musk, the world's richest man, my data for free. Why do we do this? It's because we like the service. I don't know whether we like it. We feel addicted to it. And we should get compensated for that. We should share in their profits. That's what I would like to see. And no one ever talks about that. But other places like, recording artists have figured out ways to get compensated by Spotify. It's obviously not enough. They should probably be compensated more. But people who share their data with Facebook, X, Meta, whatever it is, Instagram, should share in the profits of these incredibly wealthy companies.